Welcome back to the Igniting Dreams Within podcast, where we solve life and business problems that transform businesses and individuals into happier and fulfilled ones. On this episode, I conclude our love series on Energy and Choice FM, and we talk about the greatest love of all. The biggest mistake that we make when we are involved in romantic relationships, we want to give others we want to love our partners, but we forget to love ourselves. We want to take care of our families. We want to take care of our colleagues at work. We want to take care of our colleagues wherever we are, but we forget to love and care for ourselves. So don't make the mistake of caring and loving for anyone else but you. And the second biggest mistake that we make while we are pursuing self-love, self-care, we tend to forget that above us, the greatest love above us is our greatest love for us. No matter how bad we think we have sinned, no matter how bad we think we are, no matter how dirty we think that our sins are, the greatest expression of love is seen from our Creator to us. The gift of love. He gave up of Himself to redeem, to own you and I back. It is the greatest love, to fall in love once again, to rediscover your Creator, to rediscover what His purpose is and His original ideas about your life and how much He loves you. That is the greatest love. Enjoy this episode of The Greatest Love, and I'll see you at the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the show.
This is Conversations on Energy FM 102.1 and Choice FM 101.1. On our midweek motivation tonight, I'm joined in studio by author and life coach Ebenezer Mamabolo to wrap up the love series for the month of love. And tonight we're looking at the greatest love. We would love to hear from you. Our WhatsApp text line is 079 295 1212 079 295 1212, and you can also send us an SMS to 47861. Start your SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. The SMS line is 47861. Start your SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. AB, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. So
you chose to conclude the love series for this month by talking about the greatest love.
Yes.
What is that?
We've spoken a lot about relationships and love, the love that we would have with others, the love that we would have with our colleagues. But the greatest love is the one that you have with yourself. If you love other people and if you cherish and build relationships with others and you forget yourself, you forget to build that deep, intimate relationship with yourself, then you are missing the whole point of loving others.
So love must start from within.
Yes, it must start within.
And that's the greatest, you say?
Yes, that's the greatest love of them all.
Now, how exactly does it then present itself, particularly on an individual basis? When we say the greatest love and you say that it starts from within, how does it present itself?
It presents itself in so many ways. And I'm reminded of a memory that I had whilst I was in my childhood. And I remember this one time, when we are growing up, we've got bullies and all those guys. And one time, this guy looks at me when I'm going to the shop and he starts calling me names, telling me how ugly I am and all those bad things. And I was thinking about this, asking myself, does he really... Is what he's talking and what he's saying about me and my life really the truth? And I had some time to think about it. And I realized that whilst I was thinking about, as much as he had his own comments about me, he had his own comments about my color, I was the one who was going to determine how I see myself. And the way you see yourself in terms of self-concept. It's one of the fruits of self-love. When you love yourself, you would be able to show. What we will see from the way that you love yourself, we'll even see the way that you are relating to yourself. The concept, what do you say about yourself? What do you believe about yourself? Are you a slave of other people's opinion that they rule your life? Or are you free in such a way that you've got your own philosophy and you don't depend on other people to give you an identity or whatever it is that you want to say that you are? Another one would be self-awareness. When I know myself, when I know that these are my limitations, when I know that everything that I'm doing, this is where I am lacking and this is where I would need help in. These are my strengths and these are my weaknesses. When I've got that awareness of myself, that's another fruit of self-love. Another part would be caring for myself. We spend a lot of time in our lives taking people out on dates, maybe taking families, celebrating other people's birthdays, and we never take some time to celebrate ourselves. When I take that time to care for me, when I take if needs be, I would take myself out and just go and celebrate me, to say that I've had maybe whatever challenges I've had in my life, but this time I'm taking it to take care of me. When you take that moment to say that, irrespective of what other people might say about me, irrespective of whatever it is that the challenge that I might go through or I might encounter in my life, when I take that moment to even take care of my health, when I'm taking care of my health or taking care of my body, I'm showing myself love, because my body and my health is the only vehicle that I have of me living my dreams and even getting to the extent of loving others. When I don't compare myself with other people, one of the biggest thieves of happiness is when we start comparing ourselves with other people. You find that you are watching your friends on social media, or you're watching whoever who's achieving this level of success. But when you take that moment to embrace yourself, to say that as much as I might have wanted to achieve 1, 2, 3, 5, even though I've achieved 1, 2, 3, 5, as maybe it's not according to my plans, but I'm taking this time, I'm not going to compare myself with anyone. I'm just going to appreciate myself, and I'm going to be grateful for whatever it is that I've achieved. And I even remember one of my friends was talking to me and saying that, Mr. Mamabolo, I'm having this problem. I find myself sometimes I've got this anxiety, and sometimes I even find that I am depressed in my life. What do you think is some of the things that I should do that you would recommend that would make me happy? And I asked her, do you ever take some time to be grateful of whatever it is that you are achieving in your life? Because I see you from afar. I see you achieving 1, 2, 3, 5 in your academics. I see you achieving this and that in your life. Have you ever taken some time to be appreciative of whatever it is that you've got in your life? And she said, no, I have never taken that time. And I told her that, no, take some time, look back at your life, look at what you've achieved and everything that you've got in your life, and look at those areas in your life that you could be grateful of. And when she took that time, she came back to me after a few days and she said, when I looked back at my life, when I saw the mess that I was in, when I saw the mistakes that I made, when I saw the challenges that I've been through, I got to a point where I got to appreciate myself and I got to be grateful for this life that I've got. So when we take that moment to be grateful for the life, it's caring. We are caring for you and your soul. When you take that moment, if you are constantly comparing yourself with other people, when you are consistently maybe even comparing the success that you are achieving with other people, you get to a point where you even start to feel that you are insignificant, or you could even go to worse scenarios where you even think that your life has no meaning, whereas you never took that time to care for you and say that, no, what is it that I could be grateful for in my life? And another thing that we would show, it's forgiving ourselves. Sometimes we make mistakes, maybe because we've spoken about relationships. We find that you've even given other people the chance to love you or to be in a relationship with, and you find that, no, things didn't go well, maybe you got hurt or whatever, and you end up even looking bad at yourself, saying that, no, maybe I don't even deserve love. No, don't say that. Take some time to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing any better. If you settled for what you shouldn't have had settled in that relationship, forgive yourself for settling when you shouldn't have been settling. Forgive yourself for even those mistakes that you made. Maybe you are a parent and you wronged your children, or you are even your own self. You don't have even a partner, but you are being self-critical of yourself. You don't even look at yourself in a good light. Take some time to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for using those bad words to identify yourself. Forgive yourself for those mistakes that you would have made in your life. And the last thing, when we are caring for ourselves, we need to be able to talk to ourselves. It's been said that the greatest person to listen to is yourself. And I like what one author says. He says that there's this little voice, and he uses the metaphor of dogs. Sometimes we never take some time to talk to ourselves. You might even find yourself that you are discouraged. At this moment, you might not have someone to motivate you, or the mid-motivation week it's not on, or even the Monday motivation is not on, and you find that you don't have anyone who would motivate you. Take that time to look at the mirror and just talk to yourself. Look at yourself, appreciate your body, appreciate everything that it is about. Encourage yourself. Don't wait for other people to encourage you in your dreams. Take that time to say that, you know what, Rebecca or Abby, you've lived a life. I am proud of you. It takes some time to encourage you. And the Bible even talks about there is power in the time. When you take that moment to encourage yourself, to give yourself that motivation, to talk to yourself, to encourage yourself, to even talk to that inner you that might be discouraged in those moments. When you are doing that, that's when you are loving yourself, and you're expressing how you love yourself by talking to yourself and encouraging yourself.
And I believe that we need to also just clarify to say that the reason why love is particularly personified today, though with the understanding that it's an abstract noun or it's abstract in nature, is so that the point can then be put across. But when you say that, particularly looking at what you just concluded with now, the importance of self-talk, which is one of the things that will then manifest into the greatest love. How is it that you would advise one must instill it in themselves? Should it be that they teach themselves to know how to talk positively to themselves, or perhaps sometimes they must try and see if they can't find that particular assistance from the next person?
Yes, you could look for the next person, but sometimes you find that next person that you would want, that would encourage you, maybe your spouse or your partner, might not be there, or some family members might not be there. So the best person, just take some time. If maybe a practice that I usually do myself, I would go to the mirror and I would just look at myself and I would start talking to myself. So take some time when you are in the bathroom, when you are bathing, or when you are applying your makeup in the morning. Use that time to encourage yourself. Yes, the first few times it might not be easy because you are not used to it, and you might even laugh at yourself for doing that. But as soon as you start getting into the habit of practicing, when you are looking at that mirror, maybe when you are combing your hair, you say, "Oh, I love this beautiful hair of mine," or "Look at those beautiful eyes of mine." When you are doing that, when you are looking for those positive things that you would use to encourage yourself, it's you, and over time you would even develop the habit. Sometimes when you find that maybe you find yourself that you are discouraged at that time and you are not even in the mirror, because you've been doing this so many times, you would even instinctively know that what I will do, maybe let me say something to myself. And when you do that, you'll find that you would lift your own spirit and you would be encouraging yourself.
How does one do that exactly to get started, AB? If one already, when you say that they must compliment themselves, it's a laughing matter just from thinking about it. Do they read books? Do they listen to podcasts? Or do they just start by trying it out, even if sometimes they might feel stupid? Because I can't imagine it would be easy.
It won't be easy. But yes, you can listen to books, motivational books. And one book I recommend is The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. You can even listen to podcasts about positive psychology and all those things. But if you don't have those resources, just when you are just alone on yourself, maybe when you are in the mirror, when you are combing your hair, whatever it is that when you are applying your makeup, maybe just for starting out, just look for one thing that you would say to yourself that would be positively. Maybe it could be about your body, maybe it could even be about your achievement. Just start with one thing that you would be appreciative of, that you would talk positively to yourself. When you do that, then tomorrow you would increase and say, "Oh, maybe today I appreciated maybe my face, or I appreciated my body. Then tomorrow let me add this and that." You would even go to the extent, now it even goes to the issue of you even use that moment to do what we call incantations. And incantation is a process whereby you are bringing your whole body into the process where you want to shake your entire nervous system when you are building it. And even visualization, it also helps with visualization and even meditation. So when you do that, when you start with that one act, over time you would build. When you are building, you'll find that you would even engage in other practices like we said, incantations, meditation, and all those things.
Let's try and see if we can't work on the checklist after the break.
Okay.
What are some of the things that one perhaps should write down as they work towards the first kind of the greatest love, before we'll talk about how a higher power can then equally also contribute to this greatest love, before one can start seeking for this affection and appreciation from the next person? Let's try see if we can't work on a checklist, something that one could write down, something that they could keep using to remind themselves to say when they seem to be diverting from the ideal place that they would want to see themselves, they can always go back to from lessons that they would have then been taken here at Midweek Motivation. Can we work on that?
Yes, we can.
All right. On our Midweek Motivation tonight with Ebenezer Mamabolo, we're talking about the greatest love, and we would like to hear from you. Our WhatsApp text line is 079-295-1212, 079-295-1212, and you can also send us an SMS to 47861. Start your SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. We'll continue with this motivation after the break. Time is 18 minutes past 7. This is Conversations on Energy FM 102.1 and Choice FM 101.1. On our midweek motivation tonight with Ebenezer Mamabolo, author and life coach, we're talking about the greatest love, and we would love to hear from you. Our WhatsApp text line is 079-295-1212, 079-295-1212, and you can also send us an SMS to 47861. Start your SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. The SMS line is 47861. Start your SMS with the short code EFM. Each SMS is charged at R1.50. Now, AB, you spoke about how the greatest love starts off by manifesting in the form of self-love. You spoke about self-awareness, you spoke about self-concept, you spoke about self-image, self-esteem, self-care, and ultimately then self-talk. What happens when one has mastered the art of talking positively to themselves, and then they go out and suddenly unpleasant things are said to them? What do they go back to remind themselves that they are just as deserving of whatever opportunities they get? They are just as beautiful, they are just as amazing, they are just as smart.
I would say that maybe as a checklist, write down what are the 5 things that you believe about yourself. You know, I remember a few weeks back, I was with a friend of mine, and she was sharing with me the story of how she ended up developing her own self-concept. And she said, you know, back then, if you had come to me 2 years ago, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you, because I was ashamed of me and I was ashamed of my body. I was even ashamed of the scars that I have. But today I have gotten so comfortable with myself that now I can even come to you even without makeup, trying to cover these scars of mine. And I would say that write down 5 things. What are some of the 5 things that you believe about yourself? When you write those things that you believe about, write things that you believe that are true about yourself. Maybe tomorrow when you go out there, some people might have some negative things that they might want to say about you. But when you've got that checklist to say that, no, these are the 5 things that I believe about myself, let those 5 things, let them cover your body. Because somehow someone will say something bad about you and your body. What do you believe about your body? Write maybe those 5 things down that you believe about your body. Second, another thing, what are those things that you believe about your possibility? When you are trying to achieve your dream, someone would come and say that, no, you can't achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you are so ugly you can't do 1, 2, 3, 5. No, write those things that when you've written those things, 5 positive things that you believe about your body that are true. Another thing, what you think about your 5 things that you think about yourself that are true about yourself. And another group, write 5 things that you believe and you feel strongly about yourself. When you've got that category, when you know what you are thinking about yourself, when you know what you believe about yourself and how you feel about yourself, then ultimately it would translate to the decisions that you would have. When someone comes and says something bad about you, when they've got something to say about the dreams that you are pursuing, knowing that checklist, maybe put it down somewhere where you could see it. If you are always on the fridge, then maybe stick it down at the fridge so that whenever you are going to the fridge, you would see that, no, these are the 5 things that I believe about myself. Now, when you do that, you also need to have three other things that you need to check. Who do you think you are? We've spoken about who do you think you are. Now, when you are asking yourself, who do I think I am? We are coming to the self-image. How do you see yourself? Irrespective of how other people might see you, irrespective of what limits other people might see with you, but who you think you are. Number 2, how much value do you place on yourself? Do you think that you are valuable? Right? If you don't think that you are invaluable, write those areas that you think that you are not valuable. And after you've done that, go back to the self-talk and talk to yourself to say that, no, let me change this perspective that I have or the meaning that I got out of this. And the last one, who do you wish you were like? This one speaks to your future. Who do you wish you are like? Or what's the picture that you see of yourself in the future? When you do that, then you'll be able to from that self-concept, then you will be manifesting that greatest self-love that you've got.
What do you suggest should happen if the idea of one's self-concept currently is not necessarily good? They have, for the longest time, believed what people used to say about them, all those unpleasant things. When one's self-concept is currently quite shaky and not necessarily ideal, what should they do?
I would say that what I did for myself was that when I looked at what people were saying about me, I even went to say that, okay, let me check what does science even believe that this is what's happened to me. And what I found was that when they were calling me these ugly names and saying these bad things about me, when I went to the books and I checked now, am I really ugly? Is my color really that ugly? What's the benefit of having this dark color of mine? And when I checked and I noticed that no, I've got a dark skin and it helps with sun radiation. I wouldn't even get this skin cancer. I was no, this is a good quality. I don't want to be this color that you guys want me to be. So if you find that no, you yourself have got a shaky self-concept, check what science saying about you and whatever it is, because that's what worked for me. Now if that doesn't work for you, then also check what do you have a mentor or a father. Sometimes you find that when your self-concept is shaking, talk to your parents. They are the ones that they love you very much, and when you talk to them and say that who do you see me as, or who do you see me achieving, or what do you see me achieving, they will be able to lift you up. And probably maybe the greatest of them all, when you find that your self-concept is shaking, go back to your creator and check what's your creator saying about you. And what I've realized is that sometimes when we find that we can't find the motivation or the courage to lift and to love ourselves very much, when we are looking at the creator, we would find that we would get the motivation from the creator. And probably maybe one of the biggest mistakes that's happening these days is that religious people want to use God as a way that would make you think that you are insignificant or you are not enough. And what I noticed is that when I was checking the nature of God, I realized that no, he's got some 4 elements that we need to take into account. Irrespective of what other people might be saying about you, they might be saying whatever they might be saying about you, and you find that your self-concept is shaking. Now, the first thing that you need to check, remember that God's love does not care where you come from. It doesn't care what background you've got. You are here because of his grace. You are here because he loved you. And other people might not love you. They might look at your past and judge you from your past. But he won't do that. Your creator won't say that, no, my son, because you've done this, or you've got this kind of skin color, or because you are not achieving what you did, no, then I don't love. No, he won't say that. He will continually love you. I also like to say that his love is so big that it would cover us. It's not limited by anything. It's not limited by anyone's opinion. Whatever anyone has said about you, or whatever anyone might say about, even if you don't have anyone to speak anything good about you, just keep in mind that the one who created you in his own image, loves you very much. He even sacrificed himself. He even gave up himself so that you would be reconciled back to him. When you realize that, no, this creator of mine loves me so much, or God loves me very much, that should also give you comfort to say that it does not matter where I come from. It does not matter what I'm trying to achieve in my life. It does not matter what other people are trying to say about me and my life, or what's possible for me. But when I look back at my creator, he doesn't care what other people are saying. He even says that my love is sufficient for you. I like what one singer said that it doesn't matter. The depth of his love, it's so deep that even if you are in the deepest oceans, or you are even in the highest mountain, his love is so big that it would even get to you, even if you might try to run and say that, no, I am not worthy of love, or I'm not worthy of him loving you. Even if you hide at the highest mountain, his love will come for you. Even if you go deep into the deepest oceans and try to hide, his love will still find you there. So when you don't find that maybe my self-concept is shaky, there's no one who loves me, no one is saying anything about me, but when you look back at your creator, you will find that he's even got so many signs and testimonies that would say that he loves you very much.
So the second element of the greatest love is from a higher power.
Yes, it's from a higher power.
What happens when one feels as though their relationship with the higher power is quite shaky, the same way that their relationship with their self-concept is shaky? What happens then?
When you feel that your relationship with your Creator might be shaky, don't listen to other people who would be amplifying the way you are feeling. Don't go to those people who would say, "No, man, you are not worthy," or your sins are too many. No. When you look back at the Creator, I love what Jesus once gave an example. He said that even if I've got 100 people whose lives are very great and are good, if there's only that one person whose life is astray, I would leave these ones who are perfect and I would go to this one. Take concept. If you find that your relationship with your Maker is shaky, take comfort and confidence that no, it does not matter how shaky you might think it is. He even says that no matter how many times you wrong him, he will continually forgive you. No matter what you think about this, even if you think that you are unworthy, go to your Creator and say, Lord, do you think that, is this true about me? Is this way that I'm feeling about me, is it true, a reflection of what you are saying and what you are thinking about me? And when you do that, and take some time, if needs be, maybe go to someone who would be maybe your spiritual guide. Maybe you've got a pastor, go to them and say that, no, talk to me about God's love, and they would be able to help you that, you know what, it does not matter how you might feel at the moment. Maybe some people said this about you and said that, no, your sins or whatever, you've done so many bad things that you can't be redeemed. But when you go back to it, he doesn't care. We've even got examples in society where we've seen pastors who have done the worst of things, and God still goes to them and calls them. The very same way He could forgive everyone else, that forgiveness is still there for you.
Your closing comments, just as we also close with the midweek motivation, particularly on the subject of love.
I would say that you can't give what you don't have. As much as you might want to give your partner, your colleagues, or your bosses your best, if you don't start with yourself, you can't be giving love that you don't have yourself. So start with yourself. When you've started loving yourself, then that overflow of your self-love, it can overflow to your colleagues at work, it can overflow to your partners. And maybe let me close with a quote as we are preparing for the next series that we'll be getting into. I like what one psychologist said, Carl Jung. He said that until we make the unconscious conscious, the unconscious will rule our life, and we will call it fate. Now, if you don't take conscious, if you're not conscious of the fact that maybe I'm lacking with self-love, maybe I'm lacking with my self-talk, if you don't take that out of your subconscious mind where you automatically think that you are the worst of them, take it out of your unconscious and take it to your conscious and say that, let me work on loving myself. When you do that, then you would change the direction of your life.
Your contact details, please.
On any social media that you are on, Facebook, Instagram, just send me a friend request at Ebenezer Mamabolo. Just search for Ebenezer Mamabolo and you would find me and follow me where you are following, maybe on Twitter or on Instagram. And if you want to book me as a coach or as a speaker for your next event, you can contact me on 071 639 7807.
AB Mamabolo, thank you very much. We meet again next week.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this podcast and this final episode of the Love series. I hope that you enjoyed this series and you are blessed, and that your romantic, your family, your corporate, your social relationships will never be the same. I believe that you will express love to whoever you may. Tell them how much you love them. Don't ever. It's been said that the greatest need of anyone's life is to hear someone they admire, someone whose opinion they value the most. Tell them how much they love them, how much they are proud of them, and how much they are valued and appreciated. As you go about pursuing your relationships, whether they are romantic, corporate, personal, social, family, express your love for your colleagues. Express your love wherever you are. And don't forget, no matter how bad or how dirty you think you are, or the sins that you were told that are so dirty of your life, your Creator loves you very much. He loves you very much. No matter who said what about your life, no matter who said what about your past, no matter who said what about even your future, never take what they say about you to heart. The person whose opinion you should value the most is your Creator. He has got the original idea of why He created you and why He loves you very much. In whatever you do, love yourself and love your Creator. Thank you for tuning in to this final episode of the Love series. I'll see you next time, my friend. Be blessed. Thank you for tuning in.